Hello lovely students and welcome back to English with Lucy for your Modern RP English course. I'm going to share with you my secret recipe to help you speak English with my Modern RP accent. We are going to examine 6 key ingredients to cook up a more British sounding Modern RP accent. And of course, I always say it, you do not need to speak English with my accent to feel confident and be widely understood. But I know that many of you like how this accent sounds, and maybe you want to use it as a clear model to copy. Before we get started, I have an exciting announcement. I have just launched my 5-day British accent bootcamp. All I need from you is 15 to 30 minutes per day for 5 days. You will learn the essential sounds of modern RP that go beyond what we cover in this lesson. We'll tackle tricky vowel sounds, we will nail the British R sound, and I will show you how we blend sounds together smoothly, like how we say Tuesday instead of Tuesday. Think of it as your personal accent makeover for an incredible price. To learn more, scan that QR code here or click the link in the description box. I know you're going to love it. Now let's get started with the lesson. To help guide you through the key features of my accent, we are going to prepare a simple pizza. Let's begin with our base ingredient, the schwa. Now this sound is very relaxed and requires very little effort to make. Here are some common foods that all have the schwa sound. Listen and repeat. Butter, pepper, vinegar, pasta, onion, carrot, yogurt, and lemon. Did you identify the sound? Okay, here are the pizza base instructions. Pause the video now and read it out loud. How many schwas do you use? Is the schwa sound. Okay, now read out loud along with me. I will mark the schwas to help. Combine lukewarm water, a pinch of sugar and yeast, and leave for about 5 minutes. Add the mixture to the flour, along with a pinch of salt and olive oil. Knead thoroughly until a smooth, elastic dough forms. Now, can you believe that I used 21 schwas in such a short text? Did you notice that I pronounced the article a with a schwa, instead of a? I also used the weak forms and, of, and t, instead of and, of, and to. Using these pronunciations here can help you maintain a good rhythm in English. Let's move on to our next key ingredient, the O vowel, as in dough. This vowel sound can sound very different depending on where you're from. In my modern RP accent, I begin with the schwa and then glide to the o. This is also the sound I make when I'm surprised or confused. Oh. Let's practice with some common food words. Listen and repeat. Oats, toast, cocoa, roast potatoes. Are you gliding smoothly between the two vowel sounds? We generally give more energy to the first sound. And make sure you only round the lips at the end of the sound, not the beginning. O, O. So let's look at the next part of the recipe. Try it yourself first, and then you can compare it with my version. Pause the video now. Now speak along with me. Take the dough from the bowl and roll it on a lightly floured pizza stone. Open a jar of homemade tomato sauce and mix in some oregano or pesto if that floats your boat. Okay, now it's time for our third key ingredient, the O vowel sound, as in topping. Now in my accent, modern RP, this vowel sound is short and is made with an open mouth and rounded lips. O, O. Let's practice. Listen and repeat. Olive, orange, stock, chocolate, sausage, popcorn. Okay, ready for the next stage of the recipe? Speak along with me now. I like a lot of toppings on my pizza. Obviously, cheese is a must. You can opt for mozzarella, ricotta, provolone, or whatever you've got in the fridge. Our final vowel sound is the long R sound. Why is this sound important? Well, in my British English accent, I use it a lot. But in many North American accents and some other British accents, it's sometimes shortened to an A. With the R sound, open your mouth nice and wide. R, R. Listen and repeat. Almond, artichoke, garlic, marmalade, banana, avocado. Is your jaw open and your mouth wide? Try pulling the tongue a little back in the mouth too. Ah, ah. Let's read the next part of the recipe. Shadow me again. Speak along with me. After you've artfully arranged your chosen toppings, garnish the pizza crust with a little grated parmesan and marvel at the masterpiece you've crafted. Here, the words with the R sound that are not spelt A-R, after, masterpiece, and crafted, they can all be pronounced with the short A sound in many North American accents and some British accents. Would you say after, masterpiece, and crafted like me? Or after, masterpiece, and crafted with the short A? Whatever feels best for you. Let's move on now to consonant sounds. One of the most noticeable features of my accent is how I pronounce T. I usually enunciate this sound very clearly and expel quite a lot of air. T, T. Let's practice. Listen and repeat. Tofu, butter, risotto, latte, coconut. In North American English, this T sound sometimes becomes a very soft D sound called the flap T. So a word like lettuce can sound more like lettuce. Are you ready to practice those lovely crisp T's with me now? Speak along with me. Shadow me. Put the pizza in a preheated oven at a temperature of around 210 degrees. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Wait until the crust turns crispy. Take it out of the oven and let it sit to cool slightly. Now, I have a couple of top tips for you here. One, when you have a T sound at the end of a word and the next word begins with a vowel sound, move the T to the beginning of the following word. For example, at a temperature, set a timer, wait until. Now, top tip number 2, that's a mini tongue twister for you there. When you have two t sounds together, twin the T's. There is no need to pronounce both, just one is enough. For example, crust turns, sit to. Okay, now for our last consonant sound, the sound. Now this is a bit of a trick really, because one of the key features of my accent is that we don't pronounce the letter R unless it's followed by a vowel sound. Listen and repeat. I've marked the silent R's in red. Rice, curry, red pepper, strawberry, mustard. Okay, speak along with me again. Transfer your pizza onto a cutting board and slice it into 8 portions. Add salt and pepper to taste. Will likes to open a jar of strong mustard to dip his crusts in, but I prefer some garlic mayonnaise. Controversial, I know. The hard work is over. It's time to settle on the sofa and tuck in. Now, did you notice an extra couple of R sounds appeared in there? I added an R sound between pizzeronto and sofarand. Amazing job if you spotted that intrusive R. Many speakers of modern RP do this when a word ends with a schwa and the next word starts with a vowel sound. As I've shown you, we sometimes do it even when the word doesn't end in an R. It's just a schwa. Okay, the pizzeria is nearly closed. I just wanted to share one final tip for speaking English with a modern RP accent, and it has nothing to do with pronunciation. You don't have to use the intrusive R, but I think it's cool that you know about it. The final key ingredient is to make sure you're using the British English word, not the North American equivalent. So many different words and phrases are used on both sides of the Atlantic. I wanted to end with a little vocabulary quiz. Can you identify the British English words in these pairs of food words? Pause the lesson now and have a think. Ready for the answers? So I'd use courgette, aubergine, rocket, porridge, and minced beef. In North American English, they tend to use zucchini, eggplant, arugula, oatmeal, and ground beef. And that's it for today's mini course on the modern RP accent. I really hope you enjoyed it. Why not repeat this video and record yourself reading the words and recipe instructions? Listening to yourself can help you notice things you don't always hear as you're speaking. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you learnt something. I will see you in the next one. Mwah.